Hey guys, do you want to learn how to create your very own website for cheap and within 10 to 15 minutes? That's what this video tutorial is going to talk about. How is it that you can create a WordPress website if you want to start a blog online? I'm going to show you guys step by step how to do that. But before we get started, if you guys are new here to this channel, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button right below, along with the bell, and that way any future videos, guys, that I put up, you be sure to receive them. Also, I really appreciate it if you hit that like button right now. That way you can let me know that this is the type of videos and topics that you like to hear about. And again, once I upload new videos, you'll be sure to receive them. So I've been using Hostinger for 3 years. Very pleased with their services. They have really great uptime, 24/7 customer support. And primarily, I mean, they're a very cheap, inexpensive web hosting provider for beginners. So I wanted to go over briefly what is it that they offer, and I'll tell you which plan that I am actually using right now. Any of the plans that you select, I mean, Hostinger has a 30-day money-back guarantee. I wanted to talk primarily about their shared web hosting itself. And what you want to do first, guys, there's a link that's right below in the video's description. Click on that link. It's going to open up in a new browser, and you'll be on this very same page that I'm on right now. When you do that, it's going to give you a deep discount to your web hosting itself. And being that I'm doing this tutorial, if you do use the links itself, you not only get the discount, but I may receive a referral or credit, for it if you do. But when you do, you guys benefit by getting a discount from your web hosting today. So I wanted to share with you guys step by step how to start a blog online using hosting. Okay, and this is very easy. If you don't have any techie experience, coding experience, that's great because you don't need it at all. I'm going to show you guys everything that you need to know to get started today. Okay, so with Hostinger's plans, they have three plans. They're very simple, easy to understand. The single, premium, and business plans. You'll notice that there are two price points for each of these packages. And I'll explain exactly what they are. That way you know what they are before selecting the one that will be best for you. You'll see that crossed out are the regular costs for the package itself. For example, the single normally goes for $9.59, but when you guys use the link below, you get a 90% discount on your web hosting, and you'll be able to get it for 99 cents per month. The premium normally goes for $14.49, but you get it for $2.59. And the business plan goes for $18.99 normally, but you can get it for $4.09 when you guys use the link below. Now, the real difference between these three plans that you want to understand briefly is that one, the single plan allows you to host one website. The premium and business allow you to host multiple websites. The real difference between the premium and the business is that the business has faster page loads. The performance is way faster. And two, they give you SSL certificates. And SSL certificates, guys, are really great if you guys want to create an e-commerce store online. Maybe you want to sell products or some type of service where a customer will be required to put in maybe their debit or credit card information. So it's really ideal to have a SSL certificate on it. If that's the case, and the business plan will be ideal for you. So what I wanted to share with you guys is how to get started with your very own blog or website online, and show you step by step how to do that. So for the purpose of this particular tutorial, we're going to be using the single plan. If you're a beginner and you only need to create one website, you're on a very tight budget, and you're looking for something super cheap, I recommend just going with the single plan itself. Now, the cool thing about Hostinger that I really like that they do that none of the other competitors do is that they have a very flexible um, way to like pay for your web hosting itself. Typically, it's generally recommended to buy web hosting for at least a couple of years, 2 to 3 years or more. The way when you do that, you save a lot of money on both the front and the back end. You can see, out of the gate today, if you guys purchase 48 months of web hosting with this introductory price, which I highly recommend, you're going to be walking out with $47.52. So, excuse me, $47.52 is what you'll be paying, with that. Dirt cheap. Most web hosting providers charge about $80 for the very first year. So, I mean, you guys can really appreciate that for 48 months, you're getting it for $47.52. And again, that's considering the introductory pricing that you have here. If you don't want to purchase that much, you can just drop down to 24 months, and it's all up to you. You guys can decide what you want. If you're getting 24 months, you can see $40.56. So it's not that huge deal of a difference. $40.56 for 24 months with an 82%. But if you take advantage of the 48-month deal, which I highly recommend, you're going to walk out paying only $47.52, with that. So again, that's all you have to do is just select which of these plans that you recommend. It's all up to you. And these are just some options that are they're not required to have your web hosting itself with Hostinger. These are daily backups that, for 95 cents per month with a single plan. But if you were to go with the business plan that, I currently have, it's free. It comes with that. Cloudflare, which is really great for, promoting fast page loads, basically with people that are searching your website in, Europe, Africa, Asia, India, wherever it is that they're trying to access your website. CDNs and Cloudflare just really help to avoid website crashes due to like an increase of page views. They really help just with the page delivery of your content itself. So this is again totally optional. If you want it, it's $9.95 for life. If you don't want it, you can just leave these, unchecked. Okay. So once you decide which of these plans that you want to go with, again, it's super flexible, and Hostinger has a 30-day money back guarantee. Just click checkout, and what it's going to prompt you to do is to just create an account. It's really easy to do it. Just plug in your name, your email, create a password, and once you do that, you click on create account, which it'll highlight there, and you'll just pay for it with any of these cards here if you have on hand. They even accept PayPal now, which is great. Most web hosting providers don't, but Hostinger does, being that they have servers here in the U.S. as well as in Europe. So again, they have customers all around the world, and I think PayPal just makes it really easy if you don't want to use like your Visa or MasterCard or what have you. So anyway, once you do that, you're going to be prompted on the next page to create your account itself, and with that, you're going to be creating an account for cPanel itself, and that's what I'm going to show you guys in just a minute. Basically, you're going to be setting up a username itself. You're going to create a password, and with that, it's going to give you access to what we call cPanel itself. What you're going to also do, guys, is select your domain name. Your domain name is the URL address where you want people to go, such as, like in my case, it's learnernet.com. So whatever your domain name.com is, you can do a .com, a .net, .org, whatever extension you want to use. All of that you will do on the next page. And so being that I already have an account with Hostinger, I'm not going to enter in my information because I already have it on file, and we don't really need to do that, for this tutorial. But I just want to show you how the payment side of things work, as well as the web hosting. Okay, so once you enter in your payment information and you set up your user and your password, you're going to get an email. And with that email, it's going to give you credentials to be able to log into what's called your cPanel itself. When you do that, it's going to look like this. This is your cPanel. And the way you're going to get to it in your email, you'll have your domain name.com/cPanel. So in my case, it's learnernet.com/cPanel. And when I do that, I'm going to plug in my user and also the password that you yourself created. And it's going to bring you to this very page right here. Okay. Very simple, easy to do. And it's going to bring you right here. So when you do that, guys, you are going to now drop all the way down. This is the C panel, and this is where you really customize your website. You have a lot of marketing tools that are here if you need them to help you to, not only create your content, but also to attract visitors to your website as well. You'll notice in this section right here for domains, it allows you to do several things. You can add on domains. If you have the single plan itself, you won't be able to add on domains. But if you have like the premium or the business plan, such as what I use, then you can create multiple websites or multiple blogs online by just clicking on add domains. And when you do that, I'm gonna just show you guys, what it will look like if you did it. You would type in the new domain here, like, for example, I purchased domains like either through GoDaddy or Namecheap. And once I do that, I just redirect them back to, I point the name service rather back to Hostinger. And so once you do that, and I'm going to show you how to do it right here, is you can add the domain itself that you purchased. You type it in here. It's going to automatically create a document root right here for an FTP account. And once you hit add domain, it's going to add, to your account itself. So what we're going to do in this case, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to use a domain that I own. And that domain is, let's see, self ride sharing. So self ride sharing. And this is a blog that I'm going to be creating for somebody, but I wanted to use it as part of this tutorial for Hostinger. That way you guys can see how this is done. So I've already redirected the domain itself to Hostinger's name service itself, and that's why I'm adding it here. And this is what you would do again if you want to create, multiple websites with Hostinger. So anyway, once you type in the actual domain name itself that you purchased, it's going to automatically populate in subdomain itself. And here, what I'm going to do is just click on add domain. So once I add the domain itself, it's going to create an account for it. And that way I'll be able to, add on WordPress, upload images, and gain access to different files that I want on the file manager. So it might take a few seconds to do that, but when it does it, it'll say success, and you'll be ready to move on to the next step, which is to create your website on WordPress. So we just give that a few seconds to configure. And so basically when you create, guys, a website online, these are the basic steps that you're going to go through. Once you already have your account, with Hostinger, there's no need to, buy like more web hosting itself. You simply just if you want to create like an additional website under your account, you're just going to follow this step right here and click on add on domain and do just as I did there. And you'll see that it says that it's been created. So that's what you want to see. All right, guys. So what I want to do right now is just drop all the way down to WordPress. Just scroll all the way down and you'll see different scripts that are here. There's WordPress, AvantCart, PrestaShop, Joomla, which is another popular CMS platform that a lot of developers, use. I've created websites in the past using it. You guys can see other platforms that you can use, but for the purpose of this tutorial to help you guys to start your blog online, we're just going to use WordPress. Okay. I like WordPress. Nearly half of the websites that are online, I think the figure was like 37 million websites online per my research online, use WordPress. So again, it's very user friendly and very easy to configure. So what I'm going to do right now is show you how to install WordPress on a domain itself. Once you click WordPress, it'll bring you to this page right here, and you click on install now. Okay, great. So right now, what I want to do is select the domain that I want to install WordPress on. So I have several domains here, websites that I've created, and I'm going to just leave this just like it is. This is the every time that WordPress updates, it'll update with a different script right here. So you just leave that just as it is. Don't change anything. This is the domain name that I'm going to use, for this tutorial itself. All right, so you're going to notice that once you get to this page, guys, you see this WP. You want to erase it, get rid of it, because if you don't get rid of it and you install WordPress on this domain, what you're going to have is, selfridesharing.com/WP. And that's what's going to appear every time your page loads. And you don't want that. You want it to just be clean. That way you either set up your own pages, for this domain, and just leave it blank right there, just as I have. You go to the next section right here for site settings, and you'll see what you're going to do is type in the site name. So for this case, I'm just going to type in, self ride sharing, cool domain. Everybody loves like Uber and Lyft and so many different rideshare companies out there, but I'm creating this website for somebody, and I wanted to use it for this tutorial just to show you guys how this process works. So site description is basically a tagline. It's what the website is about. So, obviously this website is about self ride sharing itself. So maybe I can say something like tips and tricks to save with ride sharing. Or I could type in something like the future of self ride sharing. Okay, so you can put anything that you want in there. It really doesn't matter. You can always change it later on. In this case, you have to drop right down to account, admin account, and you want to type in a username. And this is going to be the username that you're going to use to log in to this website itself. So in this case, I'm going to use self ride sharing, if I can spell that correctly. You want to create a password itself. I recommend about 9-10 characters in there. And so you can just hide it. Let me see. All right. So let me just create a password for this. Okay. It says that it's strong, which is great. And for the purpose of this blog itself, your admin email, I'm just going to plug in learninnet.com at Gmail, which is for my main blog for learninnet.com. You just want to plug in an email there, guys, that you check it's active. And anytime you have problems with WordPress, you get locked out of your account, any updates that happen with their software, you'll get them directly to that email. So it's extremely important to put a good email in there that you do, that is active, and that you actually check. Okay, so that's that. And you can leave these options blank if you like. These are some advanced options. You don't need them right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these. Actually, let me see. All right, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave these as is. Don't need to change anything there. These are some themes itself that you'll have access to. WordPress is going to give them to you for free. You can just select one here. You can just scroll down and just see some ideas of different themes that you can have. If you want to see what it looks like, you can just hit select, like right there. And it'll show you like a demo of what it would look like if it was live. So we're going to just let you guys see what it looks like. So you can actually create some really, really nice, professionally looking, websites just by doing that, right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to select, let me just select this one right here. I think it's a nice one, right? I'm going to select that one. And what I'm going to do is type in my email again. Right there. So I'm going to select this particular theme. And keep in mind that you can always change this later on once you get started with your cPanel and you log into your website, guys. It's going to allow you to change themes, later on. So for the purpose of this tutorial with Hostinger, I'm just going to use this one right here, and I'm going to click on install. And it's just going to take a few minutes, is what it says, but sometimes it's pretty quick. Less than a minute. It's going to install WordPress. Voila. So now you're going to see this screen right here. It says, congratulations, the software was installed successfully, which is what you want. And it tells you where it was installed at, which is a domain that we already added and set up. And then this is where you're going to actually log into it. So again, it's going to be selfridesharing.com/WP admin. If you want to see what the website looks like, it is live right now. You can just simply, click on it, and you'll see that the website itself is live and it's online. Now, what you're going to notice off back is it's just going to look like that, the feature of self ride sharing, right, that we had set up. And there's really no content on it. It's pretty, plain itself. So with that, what we can do is we want to personalize it. So what we're going to do right now, guys, is just click on here. Whenever you want to log into your website itself, you have to type in the domain name. Like in this case, it's selfridesharing.com/WP dash admin. So you just click on that. And when you do that, in this case, I'm already logged in, so it's going to automatically log me in. But if you were not logged in, the screen that will pop up, and just let me just do this for you, that way you can see what it looks like going forward. You would see this screen right here, and what you would do is just type in self ride. I can type that in, sharing, and I would type in my password. So that's what you would do. Hit enter, and it's going to bring you to this page right here. Great. So this is what the back office looks like for your website, your WordPress website, or your blog that you create using WordPress. It looks just like this, and you'll see different options for posts, media, pages. You can add pages, posts. Pages are basically like if you want to set up like a services page, an about us page, about me page, something like that. You can do that right here. Post page are different articles or posts that you want to set up on your website. So like let's say in this case, like this client wants to create, and it's just an example, not the real deal, but an example. Let's say like this client wants to talk about like ride sharing, like what's going on like in the ride sharing business, right now. They can write different articles and post about that by simply just going, here. And if you click on all posts itself, first of all, you'll see that you have this generic hello world one, which you saw, right here. It's on the very bottom, and there's no content here. What I recommend doing is just deleting it, and you can do that by just clicking on trash. If you want to add a post itself, just go right here and click on add. And when you do that, guys, it's going to allow you to create your very first post itself. Okay. And so when you do that, I'll show you guys. So you type in your title here, and your content goes down there. And once you actually finish, typing everything, then you have this blue button on the left that says publish, and there it's live, to the world itself. The same would be true if you want to add on like pages itself. So if you go to pages and you want to create like, for example, like, I don't know, like an about me page. So with this particular blog itself, by default, they have a privacy page here. You can preview and see what it looks like. You can change it, alter it. I do recommend having like a privacy page for your website or your blog itself. Just so it shows again that you're professional and that you value people's privacy and that information is remained, confidential. If you want to delete, what's here, you can edit this page right here, and you can just delete it all and create your very own privacy page, the information that you want on it. Something that I want you to do is click back on dashboard. Click back on dashboard. And once you're back to the dashboard of your hosting a website, the very first thing that I want you to do before we even, I'm going to show you how to change themes if you want um, a little bit later on, but let me show you something that I want you to do first. All right. So go down to settings itself and go to permalinks. This is very, very important before you start publishing any content on your website. So you'll see that permalinks are basically the second portion of the domain itself. Like if you have like a post that you are publishing on your website itself, sometimes you can have like by default. Sometimes WordPress will give you like a number that tells it, but it's always good to just keep it right there. So make sure that when you guys log into your dashboard itself and you click on settings and down to permalinks, that you select day and name. It's just cleaner. Um, I like to do that, just a day and name, or sometimes I just do post name, which is even better. So one of the two. Most of my blogs that I have online, I just have it preset to post name. It's just cleaner, less information that's in there, and that way when you guys post blog posts, you'll see that you'll have like your domain itself .com/, and then whatever the post name is that's there. All right, so I'm gonna go back to themes. Let's go to appearance, and I'll show you guys how to change the theme that we currently have. So the theme itself that we installed, that we used to install WordPress on, was like a premium theme. It's a really nice theme itself. These are some default themes that WordPress automatically will add to your back office itself, your dashboard itself. If you want to delete them, you can, or if you want to leave them, that's fine too. But if you want to add or change the theme itself, just click on add new. And WordPress has like, I don't know, probably well over 10,000 themes that you guys can select from. What I recommend doing is just versus going through all of these, because they're literally thousands upon thousands of themes that you can select from. You can look at popular, and you can just drop down. Astro's a very nice theme itself. I've used it on several of the blogs that I have upline. It's a very Google friendly, SEO friendly theme itself, I should say, that I really, really love. Comes highly recommended. But you don't have to use Astro if you don't want to, but it's a really nice one if you wanted to. You could just simply preview to see what it looks like. And if you like the preview itself, just click on install. And it's pretty clean itself. It's not, you can customize it, with your headline and all of that. And you can do this for any theme that you guys want to use, for your website or your blog. Okay. So if you wanted to see what the website looks like with this theme itself, you can click right there, visit site, and you can see what your hosting or website will look like. So we don't have any content on the website. You can see it's bland itself. There's nothing really on it. If you go back to themes again, you can add different themes as well. Another good theme that I really, really like that I use in addition to Astra is one that's called Fredo, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a really nice theme itself. Okay, there it is. Great. So this one right here is a really nice one. And again, you can switch out with your themes, even if you guys want to see like themes that have to deal specifically with your industry. So if you were looking at, let me go back to themes itself. Let me go to, let's say you're into like, I don't know, weight loss. You guys can see themes that have to deal exactly with that, like weight loss, working out in the gym. So if you can think about a keyword that has something to do with, with your actual, industry that you're in, just type in the keyword here, and you can get lots of examples for blogs that have to deal with it. So these are blogging about like construction. Let's see, just to give you an idea of how this really works with themes. So you can play around with it, type in any keyword that you guys want, and you can hopefully find a theme that'll be ideal looking for. All right. So that's themes. Something else that I wanted to share with you guys today are plugins. And plugins are basically apps for your website. Of course, with your phone, we all have apps, whether you have an iPhone or an Android. We all have, apps on our phone. They really just add functionality to our phone. It allows us to do things that we can't do without them, right? And so the same is true with plugins, WordPress plugins for your website itself. Once you install plugins to help to give um, more functionality to your blog or your website online. By default, every WordPress installation that you have, be it with Hostinger or with any other web hosting provider, you will see at least these two: Estimate Anti-Spam and Hello Dolly. You don't need Hello Dolly; it's just on every installation itself. Estimate is a highly recommended one. It's really great for blocking spam related comments, on your website itself, and also malware. So it's a really great one. You do have to apply for sign up for an API key. You can do that, from here, or if you want one that doesn't require, giving your name or your information and stuff like that, just go to this sidebar here and add new. And a really nice anti-spam plugin that I use that I really like. And I wanted to share with you guys just some, different plugins that you can use. If you type in like anti-spam right here, it'll give you a list of different anti-spam plugins that you can use. And Clean Talk is a really nice one I've used in the past, but currently on the blogs that I have online that I'm hosting with Hostinger, I'm using right now this particular one by Web Vitale. It's a really nice one. It's blocked like 2,000, nearly 2,000, spam related comments. And so you want to have a great spam, anti-spam, plugin on your blog itself. That way you can block, um, spam related comments. And spam is basically comments that have absolutely nothing to do with the content that you're publishing on your website. So by blocking spam related comments and also malware, it'll save you guys a huge headache and a lot of time in moderating with your website comments itself. All right, so another great plugin that I recommend doing, and I just wanted to share with you guys some that I really recommend installing. Another one is Yoast. Now, Yoast is a plugin that helps with the SEO of your blog itself. If you want to rank high in the search engines itself, you definitely need Yoast. There are other plugins that will do it as well, but Yoast is the most recommended. Over 5 million, installations on it. So it's a very nice, dependable WordPress plugin that's updated often, and basically helps you to see, based on the content, the length of your content itself. You guys will be able to, once you create like post itself, and for example, let me just type in let me click on add new itself. And if you were to type in I don't know, if you had like a blog post that was like 500 words or 1,000 words, what have you, and you're using different keywords and you're trying to rank for them rather in the search engines. The cool thing about this Yoast SEO is that once you plug in your keyword that you want to focus in on, and you write your description right here. This is the description itself that people are going to see from Google before they click through to your website. But once you type in your content itself, based on the length and the keyword density that's there, Yoast is going to tell you improvements that you need to make on your blog post that would help it to rank even better. So that's a really, really great plugin itself that I think you guys should definitely install, that I recommend today. Another great one that I wanted to tell you about is Broken Link Checker itself. Let me see if I can get that here for you guys. And this is just something that I do with all of my blogs itself. These are plugins that I install, on it. The truth is, you don't have to have a lot plugins installed on your website itself. I think a good 7 to 10 are great. Um, Broken link checker is a really great one to, if you have a piece of content that you're linking to from another blog or website, and that webmaster updates it for whatever reason, you're going to get a notification that the link is broken. And so that way you can change it and update it. And you want to do that because if you don't do it, broken links on your website could, affect your rankings online, with Google and the search engine. So I highly recommend getting this particular plugin itself. All right. So it's a really good one to install. Great. So another plugin that I wanted to tell you guys about before I continue, it's going to help also with your page loads on your website itself. If you type in the word cache, and you'll see different plugins that pop up here. There's W3 Total Cache, Lightspeed Cache. This one is an ideal one right here, and basically what it does, it caches your pages. That way, you can have better page loads, faster page loads, and that's what people really want when they're surfing like on the web itself. CDNs really help to promote better page loads, better delivery of your pages, no matter where people are accessing your websites. I mean, my primary domain at learningnet.com, I get visitors from the US, I get them from Australia, I get them from all over Europe, India, you name it. I probably have received visitors from it. With my Google Analytics page, I can see all of that. And so it's really good to just have and to see, again, you can monitor your page loads, you can monitor where your visitors are coming from, all with different plugins that you can get started with. So these are some basic ones that I think every blog should have. Of course, there's some others that you can install up here, but I'm not going to go through all of them in this tutorial. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how to create your website to get it active online. The main deal right now is that once you start creating content with your website online itself, then you're going to be working to drive more web traffic to your website itself. And so that's the main thing about starting a blog. It's really easy to create a WordPress blog itself. I mean, once you get started with Hostinger itself and you get your cPanel and everything in place, let me just go back to the control panel itself. And of course, guys, I mean, with this, you can continue to add on domains. If you want to redirect, you can click right there. Redirects. If you have like an affiliate offer that you're trying to promote, perhaps maybe an affiliate marketer or getting into affiliate marketing, or if you have a home-based business with a network marketing company and you have a domain that you purchased, maybe at GoDaddy or Namecheap, you can plug in that domain right here, and wherever you want it to redirect to, you can put that here, the affiliate link itself. And I recommend just sticking with this option right here where it says redirect with or without the www. That way, if a person is online and they type in something and they forget to type in the www, to still redirect to your affiliate offer as well. And so there's a lot that you can do with your cPanel itself, guys. But basically in this review of hosting, I wanted to show you how to create a WordPress website for cheap. It's super, super easy to do, guys. I just wanted to help you to see and appreciate how is it that you can do it. Your main goal going forward is to really just start creating, content, with it. Again, you can change, whatever your overall page is. I mean, I can show you guys how to create, like your pages itself. I mean, you can see a sample page right there. I can delete that. Of course, my web hosting, my website, learningnet.com, is really centered around web hosting services, their performance, and what I really think about them. Highly recommend using Hostinger for creating, websites online. What I'm going to do is show you, for example, what it would look like if you guys create. You can delete this where it says sample page. Just delete that. Hit trash. And if you guys are liking what you're hearing so far, hit the like button right below, and let me know in the comments area if you're following along with this, if you're having issues, with this tutorial. I just want to know if you guys are really understanding how easy it is to create WordPress websites online. If you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them below. Okay. So what I want to do right now is just add a page, and let's say I want to call this page. Services. So what I'm going to do right there is type in services, right? And if I say like publish, I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. And if you want to see what it looks like, the actual website itself, you can just go to here, view page, and it's just going to show you the actual link itself. So, you can have it right there, services. You can change it all up as well. If you want to add like a new page itself, just hit new, drop down the page. And let's see, let's type in, let's say like an about us page or something like that. And again, you guys can play around with this. You can interlink between these pages. And again, if you want to see what it looks like, about us, hit publish, and it's going to make it live. And again, you can see what the page is going to look like. And so now you'll see about us, services. If you want to do like a contact us page, you do the same deal, right? Just go to pages again. And you guys would just type in again, just go. It doesn't matter how many pages that you want to add for your hosting or WordPress website, your blog itself. You can just keep adding page after page. So let's do like a contact us page. And again, all of your content, start writing here. You start typing all of your content right there. So what I can do is just say publish, right? And once I publish it, then it's going to show me again that same very page that I have here. All right, so let me just hit publish. Good. So my contact us page is there, and all you have to do is add your content for each one of these pages, guys. It's just that simple. You can do like a drag and drop. If you have your own images already on your computer, you can just upload them, and I'll show you how to do that in just a sec. So again, you guys see, you can see that you have the different pages that are here, and obviously there's no content on these pages right now. But if you guys wanted to like add content, to that, just go to like edit page. For right now, we're on this page right now, and it's just to show you guys how to do this. Very, very easy and simple to do it. If you want to, once you start typing your content, great. All right, so you have great. So that's that. Great. So you'll see like your permalink. We previously said it before to just basically say the post name itself is very simple. The actual page itself is called selfridesharing.com/services. Very, very simple. So that's what people would actually click on. If they were, in the search engines and it popped up, they would be clicking through and it'll bring them directly to that page itself. This meta description, I talked about it briefly earlier. Guys, it just helps, basically the meta description itself is what's displayed on Google. So let me see, learn how to save with let me just type in something like learn all about, and I'm just making this up as we go, guys, just to show you how this works. Learn all about the benefits and future of self-ride sharing. It's just a brief description of what that page is, right? Or you can talk about services. there. If you offer specific services for, your website itself, that's where you can write like a brief description of what you offer, right? So basically, with Google and the search engines, it's going to display a brief description of that. So that's what appears if you ever notice on Google when you search for something online. In this case, I mean, you guys are looking at this hosting a review tutorial, but if you're Googling anything online, you always see a preview of what you're going to see on the next page itself. And that's how you actually set that up, guys. So once you set up your keyword here that you want to focus in on and you type your content centered around that, you can update it and publish it, and it'll be live, ready for the world, guys. So it's really, really easy, creating, WordPress websites. Of course, once you get the hang of this, I mean, you can do this really, really fast within about 10, 15 minutes. It's really, really easy to do. Under setting, the general tab, you can change the title if you want to, the tagline to whatever you want. This is the date format itself, which is a preset, by default. You can change it if you like for writing, and you can just click on each one of these as well. And you can leave these. You can set up a like a static page itself if you want a page to display first over, like when people first come to your website, you want like a static page to pop up. You can do that first. This right here, these are different websites that will ping, that you want your website to ping rather. By default, this one is already there. You can add some additional ones there, and they actually do help for increasing the web traffic, getting your content out there really fast. If you guys want to know about some that I recommend, pinging, you can just comment below and I'll let you know which ones that I recommend. And if you click on reading, and I jumped ahead. This is the actual page itself. If you want your blog post to be the first thing that your visitors see on your website or your blog, you can click right here. But if you want like a static page itself, you can say I want them to see first my services page. And once you do that, every time somebody goes to your website, for example, in this case with selfridesharing.com, they're going to see my services page, right? And you can change this up. It really doesn't matter. Or if you want them to see a specific post, I don't have any posts, created on this tutorial yet. But if you did have some posts in place, you can select it, and you will see a long list of posts that you can click on, and that way it'll be the very first thing that people will see. So you can point your visitors to any page on your website. It's all up to you. And right here, if you don't want search engines to index your website, you would click right here, but just leave it blank because you obviously want Google, Yahoo, and Bing to know about your website. That's why you're making the website and blog. That's why you're starting it, because you want other people to know about it. So you want to leave that as is, okay? This discussion page right here lets you control like the moderation, like of comments. When you link to other pages, other blogs, you can notify that blog, and that blog will know that you link to them, and vice versa. You get notifications in the form of what we call like pingbacks. They usually come to your email, and it just lets you know in many cases that somebody's linking to you, or that you publish like a new article itself. You can allow people to comment on articles itself. You can set how long, how many days that you want each post to be open for comments itself. You can specify if a comment should be held before it's approved itself, which is always recommended. You just don't want any and every comment, out there. You want to moderate it, first. And so that these are what these options allow you to do. You'll notice that most of them are already pre-checked. You can uncheck them if you want to. And that's pretty much straightforward, with that. What you'll see right here, these options for avatars. When people, I don't know if you ever noticed, like on blog posts, guys, when people comment, you can actually see their picture. So if they have WordPress already, their picture will actually pop up on, using their avatar, whatever they have set up in the comments area itself. And so that's really, ideal, for that, guys. So Anyway, I just wanted to share with you guys briefly again how to create, how to start a blog, online using Hostinger itself. Of course, there are a lot of web hosting providers that are out there that you can use to create, blogs and websites online. But I recommend using Hostinger because one, they're super cheap, inexpensive guys, and they're really ideal for people that are on a tight budget. But as you can see, it was really easy to do this, guys. If you have like any questions at all about something that we did in this blog post, configuring something, or for something that I probably left out in this tutorial, drop your comments below. I would love to hear them, guys. But again, I just wanted to show you guys how to create a WordPress website fast, right? It's really easy to do. I hope you guys have much success in your endeavors of creating your website online. Let me know in the comments area what type of website you're trying to create and why, okay? Leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys, your feedback from this tutorial. I know I kind of perused to a lot of things because I've done this process over and over again, but for beginners, I just wanted to show you step by step how to set up and install WordPress on your domain. Once you purchase it, of course, you can purchase a domain directly through Hostinger, or you can purchase it through another domain registrar and just point it to the name servers. In this case, GoDaddy is a common one, Namecheap is a common one, but Hostinger across the board, guys, is a super reliable web hosting provider with great customer service and uptime. So anyway, I just wanted to give you my personal take on Hostinger and let you guys know how reliable of a web hosting provider that they are. I showed you guys cPanel, what it looks like, how to use it briefly. You notice like on websites like trustpilot.com that you can see the reputation of Hostinger. So they have 5 stars across the board with trustpilot.com based on the 1,192 reviews that have been left here. And so I've had an amazing experience with them with the 3 years that I've been hosting with them, and that's why I recommend them to others to use for creating websites, guys. So take advantage of the links that are right below. Again, you will save and receive a big discount when you use them, and of course, you have access to other benefits with Hostinger's web hosting, guys. So thank you so much for watching this video and sticking with me through the entire tutorial. We're running right up right up on an hour. I thought it would be longer than that, but wanted to keep it as short as possible just to give you guys the basics and not complicate this tutorial itself, just to give you the big picture of how to create your website online today. Okay, great. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys so much success in your endeavors of creating your WordPress website.